as we gain experience, and others also share their experience of their commitment to centering prayer, it's useful to return to it as like-minded people and with people who share somewhat of the same experience from time to time in a certain useful context, like a retreat or a meeting or something similar, because nothing is static in the spiritual journey, and the tools that God gives us expects us to refine them as time goes on, and sometimes to substitute other tools that are more appropriate for a more advanced or integrated state of mind or consciousness. So there are no absolutes in this process, and the Spirit, it seems to me, deals with each person in a unique way, so that everybody's spiritual journey is while in a certain continuity and communion with others, is basically a unique ride, you might say. It's God dealing with us as an individual, without in any way denying or to make sure that our experiences contribute to the building up of the whole body. So there's no such thing as a private spiritual journey. At the same time, there's no such thing as a collective substitution for the journey. It's both at once. And so if we really are on the spiritual journey, we are taking the whole of humanity with us, past, present, and to come, in a similar way that Jesus, in becoming a fully human being, becomes everyone, and the deepest self of everyone. But for the moment, let's take a few glances at the basic instruction that we have been given, and this becomes more integrated into our understanding and behavior as time goes on, without necessarily changing the basic thrust. So you say the same things basically in an introductory or a review of the method, but the same things don't mean the same to people, because they have their own perception of it now, and they're integrating it into their experience in a way that is both in continuity and uniqueness. So it may be hard to remember at times how you pray, or it can become so second nature that one enters into it from time to time, briefly during the day. And this is an attraction that shouldn't be resisted if you have the opportunity and freedom to withdraw inwardly from what's happening. So this is a process of change, and the change affects, in some degree, the method, and maybe calls for some adjustment. If you recall, the method consists of choosing a sacred symbol of one's intention to consent to the presence and action of God. So this could be one of three, and we've normally taught the process with the emphasis on the sacred word, because it seemed to us that the people we were addressing first in sharing the method would feel comfortable, since they had a scriptural background and a liturgical background, and would have felt that a sacred word was like words in Scripture, that you listen to it at ever deeper levels. And if people have done Lectio Divina, which is a prayerful reading of Scripture interrupted by insight, reflections, or expressions of gratitude, awe, or worship, or simply enjoyment of the good things that you read about and that are offered in different parts of the sacred text. So let's take a look at those three symbols, realizing that we could choose any one of them that we feel attracted to. And I've noticed that people who have certain creative, intuitive instincts or developed by studying and practicing art or crafts in various forms often have an attraction for the sacred breath rather than the sacred word. And I don't know how you explain this or how you would advise someone. They have to try it a little bit, not too much, because the main thing is to do it, and all three of them are aimed at developing interior silence and overcoming the habits of a lifetime of constant commentaries and preoccupations and distractions and tormenting desires, or simply the bombardment of thoughts coming from one's immediate environment or the earlier parts of the day that are simply to be endured. And so distressful at times that one is very inclined to cut short the period of prayer and move on. But the essence is not in the psychological experience of good or bad according to human standards or our particular emotionals for program, for happiness, transferred to our spiritual journey or expressing itself even in our prayer.